Hey guys, I had to add more tagline to this. So basically, I've looked in more. I deserve to look in the other video I have, and basically, I heard some other stuff. The fact of she actually doesn't want any women to be hurt in video games, or at least abusive and stuff, which is kind of like so. If girls never ever get abused ever again in video games, then is it unfair that guys are getting beaten up and slashed and killed? I mean, look at this. Guys get slashed and killed all the times. As for girls, I think it's sometimes, less than 50% or less the fact of girls actually get beaten in video games and abused and stuff. And even if they get abused, well, is it better they get abused than actually have to get killed? Unlike in one of those Final Fantasy games? Ooh. Excuse me. Let me just continue on with the thing and I'm going to do movie magic stuff. Alright, another thing just to make sure I cover everything. She thinks that girls shouldn't be damsels in distress. They're shown as damsels in distress. I did talk a lot about already the whole fact of sexuality and stuff, but girls as damsels in distress. Well, isn't that how it used to be? Isn't that how it always be? That's the status quo, is that girls are damsels in distress. Anyways, Yu-Gi-Oh did have something where Mokuba was the damsel, quote unquote, damsel in distress. Heck, Kaiba was freaking a damsel in distress. So it's kind of like, yeah, no, yes, I get it, video games, that's anime, but still, there's other types of damsel, quote unquote, damsels in distress that aren't even women at all. I think there might actually be one where there was a dog. Yeah, Pokemon Black 2. The fact that the dog was a damsel in distress and you had to save the dog from Team Plasma, aka Herdier. I think that's how to say his name. Let's see, any other damsel in distress that happened. Technically, the Princess Peach video game, she had to save Mario, so yeah. What about that one? Let's see, what other one that is like that? Let's see. Oh, mini Pokemon games. The legendaries. Let's see, there was freaking. I guess Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire kind of counts. Technically, definitely in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, you had the emotion Pokemon, and they're legendaries, and they're not even girls or guys. They were damsels, quote unquote damsels. Let's see, in the fifth one, is there anyone? Yeah. You basically had Q-Ram who was beaten the freak up and got one of his wings cut off, and he was a prisoner. So, yeah, that's another one. And Kyrealm does not have a gender. Let's see. I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it in the Pokemon world. Let's see. I'm just trying to make sure I got everyone else. Let's see. I think that's about it. That's all that's I can name that actually are not girls that are damsels. So there is damsels that are not just girls, but girls are always the best ones because if not for girls, then what other relationship will they have that actually is strong? Because, well, given that some of them are love stories, I thought girls actually love love stories. I thought you guys loved the whole romantic movie stuff. I thought you loved those romantic movies and books. So it's technically a guy version of that. The fact that there's more action and everything, but there is a love story in there. And, well, I get maybe you guys want it to be in a girl's point of view, that the fact that the girl saves a guy or the little sister or something. Well, it's a guy if you want romance. If you want like something else, it'll be like the little sister or a little brother or something. I think there might have been a game where she had to save her father. It might actually be a game like that. Maybe. But out of all this, it comes to the fact of so you don't want girls to be damsels in distress. So You want to have the less awesome, powerful thing in the game to be lower than that. I mean, like, for instance, let's say it's a total mystery on who actually was kidnapped, but the main character loved that character very, very dear. And as soon as you get to the end, you find out it's actually his dog you're trying to save. Not his girlfriend, not his wife, but a dog. You know what happened to that freaking video game? The video game most likely will be good, but as soon as they reveal it's his freaking dog that he's risking his life for, they always say, oh, bull crap. Because you're like, oh yeah, so this guy loves his dog so much that he's risking his life for that. And you're like, bull crap. It's like, who would actually steal a dog anyways? Who actually would keep a dog hostage? Because, well, it's like, well, given Screwed, the movie Screwed, they did have a dog hostage, but yeah. Yeah. But still, man, my goodness. It's like you're trying to wreck the most important thing in the storyline. Alright, again, I'll just finish it with this. So, basically, GamerGate was actually supposed to be like the actual clearization of what's going on with journalism and the game franchise or whatever. So, with that said, basically, it just got smeared, I guess. That's technically what's happened to feminism. Feminism actually went to something very, very important. Something very, very good for women. And I think it's decades. It took like lots of decades for it to finally turn into something that's like, you're not as good as you used to be. You're not as good as it used to be at all, man. Yeah, it's like really, really horrible. Just like TV. Yeah, broadcast TV. It's like, used to be good for kids, and now look at you. You're freaking degraded. There's nothing really for kids besides PBS. Other than that, it's like, you want kids to watch that crap. You want kids to watch court TV shows. You want kids to watch talk shows. Lots of talk shows. Maury. Yeah, Maury doesn't count as a talk show. Maury. That just freaking... Let me just go right quick. Excuse me. Let me just go over what's on right now. Besides Dr. Oz, which Dr. Oz is very, very nice, and holy crap, we'll be back at these messages. Sorry about that. Dr. Oz has something very, very interesting just going on, and I was like, oh my gosh. Alright, so anyways, let's see what we got here. We got Justice with Judge Maybelline. You have Divorce Court. Dr. Phil. Yeah, and then Clifford Arthur. Maury, Judge Judy, Hot Bench, Ellen DeGeneres, hell no. Rookie Blue, I guess that counts. Yeah, Rookie Blue. Other than that, yeah, that's about it. Yeah, that's the end of it all, I think. Besides the whole digital ones, and I can't really get to that. But I think the extra digital ones, the extra channels, I think they are kind of safe, but when it comes straight down to it, there's really nothing truly for kids, like cartoon-wise. There's really nothing for kids to actually come to. Which I kind of do remember that when I was very little. The fact of after 5 o'clock, you're out of luck. Because you had to watch all of the quote-unquote grown-up TV shows. Like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I hated that. Home Improvement. I got warmed up to that, technically. Seinfeld, that was the worst thing I ever had to watch as a kid. Yeah, I mean, my mom was so late that Seinfeld was on. And I was like, oh my gosh. Let's see, what other things that was on? And I think that's about it. Yeah, my mom was able to catch me just in time. But, still, it's really nothing for kids. It got really, really downgraded. So, where I was going with this? Oh, the fact of just that, yeah, there's things that you can... Yeah, freaking GamerGate was stressed to a different level than where it's supposed to be. So now it's all about sexism and stuff, even though it technically was trying to find corruption within the gaming industry, along with all of the news, sources and stuff. So that's kind of messed up. It really is messed up, and I guess for ending this all, it's just the fact of, well, it looks like there's even more people who are actually got threatened. So, well, I mean, if it's a good cause, you'll get threatened. I mean, look at the freaking civil rights. Martin Luther King got death threats. Malcolm X got freaking death threats. Everyone in the everyone in the civil rights movement got death threats. So it's like, if you're moving for something good, you most likely will get death threats. And chances are, if you're moving for something stupid or something that's not important, chances are you most likely will get nothing. Of course, in their case, basically what's going on is just the fact of they're touching on a touchy subject that has a little bit of truth, along with just some things that is like it doesn't really deserve to be pulled up by the roots. Yeah, I mean, really. Does it really need to be pulled up by the roots? I mean, girls, if you don't like watching something, will you continue watching it and basically write to the network saying how sucky it is, even though you don't want to watch it in the first place? No, you actually will go get in this case, basically, if you have a video game that's all about that, you won't play it at all. You'll play something that actually comes to you. So, I guess maybe you should try to, if not anyone's trying it, just get some game that actually will interest you, or have a game form that actually you will play. But other than that, it's kind of like if you go to like, I don't even know which game it was she was trying to say, oh my gosh, they're gonna abuse someone. But even one thing in history is that there was abuse in history. There was maidens who were taken from where they were and straight up had some sexual advances and etc. etc. Yeah, you can't just be like, oh my god. It's like, if they're trying to make it very accurate to history, that's what happened in history. That's what happened. I mean, seriously, that's what happened. It's kind of like if someone actually is trying to make, let's see, how about someone makes an Assassin's Creed, and I would like to say I most likely doubt this ever will happen, and most likely it will get lots of backlash and everything, if the fact of they based it in the 1960s with the Black Panthers, and the fact of, because it's offensive to lots of people, they basically say, no, you cannot show Martin Luther King getting shot or assassinated or even mention such, but they're trying to make it as historical as possible, so it's like you're playing an historical game like all their stuff previously. So it's kind of like, yeah, I mean, you can't just say you don't want something in a video game, even though they're trying to make it very historical and also make the person a bad person. So, yeah, I mean, what you gonna do? Trade the whole thing with just getting a girl's candy bar? Let's say they digitally put in a candy bar. Instead of abusing her, they take her candy bar, eat it, and throw it on the ground and litter. Does that seem evil to you? Not necessarily. I mean, it seems kind of bad. It's a little bit bad, but that's not evil. It's not like the bad they're trying to show. So it's kind of like, there's some things that you can't just say, oh, we don't want it in a video game, because, well, some things are needed in a video game. And of course, there's many things that shouldn't have to be in a video game. So, yeah. Hopefully, with the developers, they actually know in mind where's the line and where it's going too far and stuff. So, chances are, yeah. Of course, when it comes to video game and what genre they pick, the line gets pushed far away, especially if it's a horror film and you basically show a girl mangled raped and everything, all over there on the floor, bloodied and stuff. That most likely will be a murder mystery, or it could be a horror mystery. They have to have it in there because, well, they're trying to set up an atmosphere. They're trying to set up the story. And if you basically say, oh my gosh, no, you just showed a rape girl and everything, basically you're just ruining exactly what they're trying to get in the atmosphere, which is basically that. Yeah, I mean, there's more battles you should pick on, especially when it comes to these days with horror crap. Yeah, I mean, look at the freaking horror movies. I don't see anyone yelling at the horror movies saying, hey, what you did with that girl is wrong. Especially in Hostel 2. The fact that you had a girl right up there hanging in the ceiling and she getting shredded and shredded and shredded. And most likely the reason why you guys not saying anything about it or making a riot about it is most likely because it was a lady who was doing the shredding on that other girl. But still, it's kind of messed up, personally. And besides, yeah, that's basically all I really have to say. Besides, there's lots of horror films that actually have girls. Heck, I don't even see anyone saying the movie Drag Me to Hell, it's not right that the girl is the main character and it should be a guy who gets all that crap done to him. I don't see anything like that, so... Alright, I'm ending this. So, thank you for listening, guys, and... yeah, this is what I think about freaking Gamergate and all the whole hoopla about girls are being sexualized and stuff. And of course, one last thing is about the people who actually say the things. I already said this, but I'm just going to wrap it up with this. It's the fact of, if you're trying to actually get girls less noticed and stuff like that, and get more girl games and all that stuff, well, I think first things first is start a petition. That's number one. And number two is, like, if you want no sexuality in games whatsoever, or sexuality lessened, then you're going to have to look at all the stuff around you that actually helps say, yeah, they can do that. Like, for instance, Hardee's and everyone else. So, before you attack anyone else before you attack the gaming industry, I think you should attack everyone else who has a hand in the whole, let's lift it up, sex sales, baby, lift it up. You really need to figure out how to stop everyone from doing it, because if one person does it, then the other person's able to say, okay, they're doing it, we can do it too. And I'm now finally ending. So thank you for listening again.